What video or recording is perfectly innocent, but becomes terrifying when you look into the story behind it? The TV show The Willis Family that had 2 seasons on TLC. The dad was super controlling of his 12 kids and wife and just gave off creepy vibes. I was shocked though to find out that he had been raping his own daughters for years, with the oldest saying that molestation started when she was 3. All 12 children were homeschooled and did dance and wrestling, but only with each other. They were so isolated from other people. He was also strict about his daughters saving themselves for marriage even though he was raping them. There's a clip from the show of him discussing all the kids building houses on his property so his future grandchildren would be close by. It's like he was trying to set up his next victims for when his daughters grew up. The worst part is the mom knew for a while but didn't do anything about it. It was a family friend that ended up reaching out to authorities, which led to his arrest and sentence of 40 years. It's super creepy to see clips of the show knowing what was happening behind closed doors. The song Anne Marie sings in All Dogs Go to Heaven, about wanting a loving home. While recording, the voice actress, Judith Barcy, kept crying. Her home life was awful. Her father was abusive to both her and her mother and would often threaten to kill or hurt them. Judith died before the movie came out. She and her mother were killed by her father and then he killed himself. She was 10. There was a celebrity in the UK called Jimmy Savile who presented many BBC programs in the 1970s. Especially ones with a younger audience. He did a campaign for seatbelt awareness and was a patron for many charities for the vulnerable. He was probably the most loved celebrity for decades. After his death, he was revealed as the country's worst child sex offender who used his fame and proximity to children to abuse them. Any picture or TV footage of him near kids was probably shot just before or after he'd assaulted someone. What about the video that was on Tosh? Oh, where there were 2 girls and the dad tied them in a playful way to the bed. But it was really like a pedo tutorial on how to do this to kids so the pedo could do what they wanted. Tosh said on the show it was creepy and the guy's whole YouTube channel was weird. A few months later the FBI or something investigated it and it turned out the guy was a pedo abusing the girls and exploiting them on his kids' YouTube channel. That video looked creepy innocent until you find out the real story. One day I saw a news report on a woman's body dropped in a lake. The police were still looking for the body. They interviewed a man who said, that could have been someone's mother. A few hours later they find out the body was that man's mother. I was at a friend's house. My friend's dad yelled down from upstairs, someone was struck and killed by lightning at Venice Beach today. I got cold. Looked at my friend and said, damn, that could have been any one of us. Get home and later find out that one of my friends was out in Venice when a lightning storm hit. Striking the water. He wasn't even in the water until he ran in to grab the people that had been struck and incapacitated. He ran in to save them and when he did he got struck and died instantly. Broke my fucking heart, but that was the kind of person Nicholas Fagnano was. Selfless and perfectly kind. There was a picture of a 16 to 17-year-old girl floating around very briefly years back. It was just an innocent picture of some teen posing for a photo. Look deeper into it and it turns out the girl was from a rich family and had a drug problem. She got into an argument with her dad. Stormed out and stole his car. Did a bunch of coke. Then crashed into a bridge going hella fast. She was killed instantly. As sad as that is. The fucked up part is why the photo was being passed around. Somehow the photos taken as the scene of the crash found their way online and horrifically cruel people decided to send out fake memorial emails to this girl's family. Opening the emails seemed innocent enough. A heartfelt subject about how terrible this was. A photo of this girl before she died. But scroll any further and there were the pictures of her corpse with messages taunting her loved ones. I found one of these messages and her body was not in one piece. It was mangled. Seeing your daughter's corpse is one thing. Seeing it in that state is something else. But to have people playing with it online for no other reason than to hurt you is unthinkable. IDK about innocent. But if you cut out the ending, the video leading up to Bud Dwyer's suicide seems so normal. Just another guy on TV getting harassed by reporters over the latest controversy. If it had cut there, you could air it on the evening news and nobody would know someone died less than 20 seconds later. Just disturbing. Edit, corrected some words. Tommy Cooper death on stage. People was thinking he was still acting when he collapsed on the ground dead. For a heart attack. Edit, grammar. Tommy was a brilliant performer who was deliberately amateurish and had things go wrong as part of his routine. So when he died, many thought it was part of the show. Dr. Nassar's sports medicine videos. He's one of the docs for USA Gymnastics and has had a ton of videos on his website of him demonstrating various sports med techniques and treatments. It looks professional on the surface. The thing is, some of his techniques are totally made up. Some techniques he demonstrated on video, he would digitally penetrate, finger, young girls in the vagina and anus. He performed these techniques on hundreds of young girls under the guise of it being for their health and sometimes directly in front of their parents. Sometimes while aroused. Watch Athleta on Netflix if you want the story on this scumbag. Actress Melissa Benoist was on Jimmy Fallon in 2016. She told a story about a time she fell and tore up half her face and one of her eyes. She made jokes about it. And no one really thought about it. Last year she revealed that one of her exes was very violent when they were together. She revealed that the story she told on Jimmy Fallon was a cover-up story. The real story is that her husband, at the time, had thrown an iPhone in her face. Maybe not that innocent to begin with, but extra creepy knowing the truth. A video of an African gray parrot named Bud saying, "Don't fucking shoot." He witnessed his owner, Martin Durham, being murdered by his wife. IIRC Bud also mimicked both sides of verbal fights, alternating between a male and female voice. I believe the parrot testified in court. The wife was convicted. Edit, Bud did not testify. Sorry to get your hopes up. He was, however, a useful witness during the investigation. Next door neighbor security footage of a disturbingly calm Chris Watt loading up his work truck in the morning with the bodies of his recently strangled pregnant wife and 2 young children. To dispose of them. Absolutely fucked up. Recent Britney Spears TikTok and all that videos she posted. I am not a fan myself, TBH. But as a person who doesn't know much about her, it felt weird and somewhat awkward to watch it. Which I read the comment to see that there are people saying like how she's asking for help through all these videos. The video of the Boston Marathon bomber going to a supermarket to casually buy milk after blowing up 2 homemade bombs at the race. Fuck him. Years ago I was running and a guy caught up to me. He told me he'd been following for a couple miles and was hoping I would keep him company for a while. Then proceeded to tell me that his wife had done the Boston Marathon and they heard the explosions from a few blocks away and thought they were fireworks and cheered. He had asked me to run with him for a while because he was dwelling on it that day and needed to talk to someone. His wife had been avoiding running and he wasn't used to running alone. Normally I get creeped out by people who talk to me while I'm running, but he was just a sad guy with PTSD. I felt bad telling him it was the day after my wedding and we were on a boat tour in Hawaii and learned about it when it started to rain and we were taking shelter and my husband checked his phone and saw the news about the bombing. That kid who did anime reviews and ended up making a video about his big future plans. He ended up killing his entire family and tried shooting up his old high school before he got caught. Also, Elliot Rodgers' old videos are just eerie. Tears in Heaven, Eric Clapton. It's a song written to his 4.5-year-old son, who died after falling 53 stories out an apartment window that had accidentally been left open. Peanut butter jelly time. The guy was killed in a standoff with police and was Snoop Dogg's brother-in-law, who tried to de-escalate him during the incident. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and hit the notification button. See you next time.